All right, let me just start the recording. All right, so this is going to be, I guess, February's betas. Let's start off with whatever is the most interesting right now. What do we have?
All right. The most interesting thing that's in beta, and this is really the big one that's in beta right now, is the Sector night vision, and that is printable night vision goggles. And they can be made for around $200 to $250. They use drone cameras. They are infrared, so they're an IR camera, but they are binoculars and they can be mounted to helmets. And the nice thing about that is that they're cheap enough that you can get into night vision and decide if you like it and if you find a real purpose for it. And also, uh, if you're into hunting, you don't have to worry about an animal seeing the IR signature. And if you are, for example, like let's say you are a prepper and you want to just have some night vision, well, the chances of someone breaking into your house and also using night vision in a non like SHTF situation are effectively zero. Jimmy Crackhead doesn't exactly gear up with nods before he smashes in your window, so they are incredibly useful. They're completely waterproof, they're completely printed, they've got a long battery life, and they're just super, super exciting, and they're currently in beta right
Okay.
now.
So yeah, I got a couple questions about that. So you'll definitely need, I guess, like some sort of IR flashlight or something like that then to
It's
make it.
built in to
Oh,
these it's built into these goggles. Yeah, they've
okay.
got they're drone cameras, and the reason that he went with those is because a night vision drone camera, first off, is pretty darn cheap, and secondly, it's durable enough to smack into the ground from 50 feet up in the air and not break.
Oh,
So he took. Oh, go ahead.
no. Actually, no. Yeah, I'm 100% willing to accept the fact that I know literally nothing about knots.
I'm not a very big expert on them. I know a little bit, and people though that are into them are pretty excited about this project.
For me, I find this very interesting in that this isn't technically something that is a gun necessarily, but it is
No,
something. It's what would be the what's the fun LARPy term for it? A force multiplier, right? Isn't that the what
yeah,
people say? Sheepdog type of
yeah,
thing. Yeah.
exactly.
But it's definitely something where yeah, if you can see a night and the other person can't see a night, well, you have a very very good advantage. And
Well, and some people don't like the infrared because they're like, oh, well, if the other person's using night vision, then they can see you, as if you're holding a flashlight. Yes, but it's also way better than just holding a flashlight because if you're just holding a flashlight, then they don't need infrared to see you.
when I try to think about a use case for this, I would probably assume, yeah, this is a civilian and type of a. It's better than nothing, but like, yeah, if you're going, you wouldn't take this like, against an actual military or something. Like people will have actual knots, but it is your average, gangbanger, whoever breaks into your home. There is a very, very low likelihood that they have knots.
Well, these are being tested right now with coyote hunting, and it's a $200 binocular setup that's waterproof. It's waterproof, it's shockproof, it's gonna get the job done. And if you decide that you just absolutely love night vision and you're super into this, then you can upgrade, and you can buy a more expensive set, a professional set. But this is a great entryway into it, and it's also just like I said, it's a lot of fun,
How is the field of vision, and how is there a delay?
There is not a delay from what I've been told. It's got a very, very fast refresh rate. And depending on what screen size, it should be a full view where you will not see a border. In some cases, if you go with the smaller screens, you might see a little bit of a border. You'll see it'll look like rectangles, but that just depends on if you want to spend a little bit extra money to get the larger screens, and then you won't even see the borders at all. And it'll be a full binocular view.
That's actually something really interesting. Yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing more about how this one goes. But yes, yeah.
Absolutely.
What do we got next?
I was just about to announce, and I'll announce it on here then. We have the Fossberg, and that is a printable Mossberg 500 receiver. And that is opening up its beta today. I'm going to do the announcement on it. And that's pretty exciting because whereas the Mossberg is a very common shotgun, that also means that you get lots and lots of parts kits. And if you want to buy up a bunch of Mossberg parts kits, or don't buy all of them. Don't buy all the parts kits. Buy one. Be nice. Share. It is by priming compound. People have built them. They have shot them. It's holding up so far. It's in early beta, but we can always use more testers. And if you want to buy a parts kit and you want to try this out, it's going to be awesome. And I'm going to do the announcement today. It's super exciting. Yeah, they're fantastic. So this is going to be a very lightweight shotgun. The Mossberg 500 is already pretty light because it uses an aluminum receiver. Now this is going to be polymer. But the thing is about the Mossberg 500 and what makes it especially suitable for 3D printing is that it locks into the barrel. The barrel has a steel extension. So when the bolt goes forward, it actually locks into the steel extension. So it's the same idea as the AR receiver, where the receiver is just there to hold everything in place. And that's what makes the Mossberg 500 a much more feasible design than other pump action shotguns.
Yeah, now I will say this because I had the joys of building my own Mossberg. I had a receiver laying around someone gave me, so I had to build it up. So the 500, you can also use Maverick 88 trigger groups as well. That being said, so the fun little tang safety, that will not work at all. So that's just something to keep in mind. It's kind of jarring a bit because Mossberg 500 will have the tang safety just still attached, but it will not function. It's a crossbolt for the Maverick 88 triggers, and sometimes people will lie about their triggers that they are selling, and they'll say Mossberg 500, and it's actually not. It is a Maverick 88 trigger. You can always tell by the safety mechanism attached to it. For Mossberg 500s, there's different trigger groups. There's the new and the old one. Don't bother trying to figure out why they're different. Just know the new one has a little bit more plastic. Maybe I might actually have to make a video about this specifically because I went through this. Building a Mossberg is not too hard. It's just going from parts kits is a bit much because not many people will sell good parts kits. The challenge you will most likely run, so you can get all the parts pretty easily. The challenge is always going to be the tube and the barrel itself. Those are the ones I never could find a good deal on. I can talk way too long about building a Mossberg just because I did it myself.
Nothing wrong with that.
So I should at least maybe gather my actual thoughts down, then talk about that one a little bit. Maybe see if we can get the dev on to talk a bit more in depth in that one because I already have a bunch with that one. What do we got next?
We have the Mprtech UMP11 and that's being made by Mprtech along with DB Firearms, and it's a joint beta between Deterrence Dispense, the Gatalog, and Aussie. And what that is, it's a UMP style Mac frame that uses a Mac bolt and barrel and printed upper and lower, and it looks just like the H&K UMP. So you're basically getting a UMP for Mac prices, which is next to nothing. I mean, when you're talking about a $1,500 gun versus a, what's a Mac bolt and barrel cost? $300, if that.
Well, I think they've probably gone down in price too with all the people making them as well.
Yeah. I think you're right. Because you can get them from VMAC, you can get them from you can get them on Gunbroker, you can get them on Math, you can get them from Avi's. They're doing them. There's tons of companies now that are jumping into this, but this is a really cool little sub gun. It uses straight mags like the SVTR style mags.
Okay.
They are modified, and when people see the pictures of this, it's gonna look cool.
Yeah, because I think I was invited into that one too because it looks cool and everything. I've always wanted the UMP myself. That is,
I have as well.
I mean, UMPs are already kind of direct blowback. There is no magical HK special sauce for it. It's just the direct blowback.
Exactly. Yeah, it was the cheaper version of the MP5 that they made. And, this one uses an AR fire control group, so you can put a nice trigger in there if you want one.
And it's using a Mac bolt, right?
A Mac bolt, yeah, Mac 11.9 bolt, so the 9 millimeter Mac bolt, and
Uh,
it has a Picatinny rail on the top. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to ask this too. If it's using a Mac bolt, does it have a hardened firing pin, or they maybe fix up the geometry with it? Because I know for the Mac Daddy, there's a whole issue where it's not actually hitting the firing pin directly head on, so it kind of will eventually wear that firing pin down a bit, almost to the
Well,
point
the
where
firing pins snap a lot of times with the Mac bolts.
right. And yeah,
Um,
another thing just to add to for most people, in case you didn't know about it as well, is drop-in triggers. The reason why they're strongly discouraged for Mac Daddy builds is because that will really speed up the cracking your firing pin.
yes, which is why now companies are starting to make the stronger firing pins.
Right. Was it Aves or is it Riptide that was selling the hardened firing pin?
They might honestly both be doing it now.
Wouldn't be surprised, but yeah, no, that's one thing I was curious too. Is does it have a different geometry where it's able to hit the firing pin head on, or
I believe so. This beta just opened up.
okay,
They have put they've put a lot of rounds through their own guns, and I'm not seeing, looking back through, any issues with firing pin breakage, which was a serious issue with the Mac Daddy back in the day. So that's going to be something that testing is going to have to play out, and we're going to have to be sure that it is durable. That's why we do the beta process. We got to get some guys out there that are going to put hundreds and hundreds of rounds through it. And if we have to change up the geometry, then we will. It's definitely a different angle than the Mac Daddy was.
right,
It's definitely going to hit it differently. Just looking at it here, it's taller than the Mac Daddy by quite a bit,
okay.
and it's using a printable upper receiver. So they did change up some geometry.
If you just use a normal mil spec trigger with a Mac Daddy, it should be fine for a while. I don't think many people will get to that point, but if you do a different drop-in trigger or something else, it's not mil spec. It is very much not encouraged. Unless if you want to get the hardened firing pin, that from what I've heard, that basically fixes almost everything. You could probably do a normal drop-in trigger with that one too, but I don't have one right now, but something probably worthwhile trying.
I also like the reduced power hammer springs for the Mac Daddies.
Okay, yeah, 'cause I think
just seems to ease up on things a little bit.
that's something to consider. I think PSR did that for his original Mac Daddy video, which I guess rest in peace. But that I think he was mentioning that he was getting light primer strikes because he used a weakened hammer spring, maybe.
Yeah, you're gonna have to, see, because there's all different kinds of weights.
Right, it's tuning.
If you go too light, you're definitely gonna have issues.
And the fun part is you can just skip it all by just getting the hardened firing pin. So something to consider as well. But another thing too, I should mention as well. So UMP's, it has the fun HK slap. If it's using a Mac bolt, is it using a side charger, or did we find a way to get the the HK slap somehow still in there?
It is going to be, if I am sure here, I'm going to double check before I say anything dumb, but it appears to be a side charger from what I see. And that is just an issue of using a Mac bolt.
Understandable.
Where I believe that you're going to get the HK slap, unfortunately. Now, I could be wrong. Let's see.
I know he's uploaded some other ones. I think, was it the Scorpion Bolt?
Oh, you know what? Hang on a minute. I think I'm wrong. I think you do get the HK slap because they've got a printable charging handle here. And I believe the charging handle pushes against the bolt. Yep, you get the HK slap. I see it now.
Fantastic.
I see where Digital Nimbus did it. So, yes, this uses a printable charging handle, so you will get the HK slap.
Okay, that's good to hear then. I like Call of Duty, and it was cool in Call of Duty.
I just know that a lot of people have been building this thing, and they really like it. The room is very active.
That's a good thing to hear. Yeah, I like the design too. I've seen the other ones. I've always wanted to build this. It's just the issue is UMP parts kits are quite expensive too.
Well, there you go. This will help you with that because it uses printable frame, uses Mac parts, AR parts. It's going to be nice and cheap. You know, UMP for the masses.
I look forward to it too. This is going to be a fun one, I think. All right, let's go to the next one. What do we got next?
Okay, now that is it for the new beta projects. However, that's because we had 4 releases this month. And the first one of those is the 3011 Double Stack by Ivan. And what that is it is everyone's favorite 2011 or the 3011, but now it can take the double stack magazines, the double stack 1911 mags, so you get twice the fun.
That's incredible. I love my 3011 a lot. I've been meaning to actually finish up the video for that one, but that 3011s are a lot of fun. So it's using double stack 1911 mags, right?
Yes, exactly.
Not Glock mags.
No, not Glock mags.
Let me just
double
go ahead.
stack 1911 mags.
Yeah, let me make sure we added that one again too. It's not using Glock mags. I already know people were asking about a 3011 that could use Glock mags. They'll just make sure we rub it in more.
For that, you need to print a recession Ruger. Then you can get the Glock mags for you.
Right, but yeah, let me think of. I mean, the 3011 is an interesting design. It's a lot of fun, especially if you already have a 1911. You can really, all you really need to do is just buy the set of rails, get an AR-15 fire control group, maybe an extra mag spring or mag release and slide stop if you really want to go that route, and you can just you can just swap over your slide real quick to a 3011 frame. Put a nice little brace on it if you want. It's a really nice gun to shoot. It's nice that we can have double stack mags with them. That's kind of nice,
I like the whole platform. Like it's very, very controllable and lightweight. It's a nice hiking gun.
Right. No, it is a very, very nice gun. It looks a little goofy, I gotta agree with some people, but it is nice. I'm wondering too, though, because I know there were some less goofy models, the ones with a little bit of like a shroud, a little bit of a chassis over it. Are those also brought over, or are they just? I'm guessing a little bit of geometry had to be made to accommodate double stack mags.
I believe that the 3011, as it stands right now, does not have the shrouds, the V2 at least. I am sure that those are going to come about. I can double check them. I do not see any shrouds.
That's fine. I mean, the shrouds are kind of always I think it looks better without the shrouds because I think it looks cool as is. But I know some people disagree with me, and those people are wrong.
Yes,
however,
it is.
They are loud and obnoxious, so I might as well let them know.
Yes. Well, it's the same as the people that love the Glock bags and everything.
Yeah.
Probably the same people.
It probably is the same group. I wouldn't be surprised. I guess let's go to the next one.
Absolutely. Okay, so we've got another design that's actually about to release, and that's called the Peasant Plinker. And that is a 22 caliber Glock conversion magazine. So if you get one of those Glock 17s or Glock 19s that has the 22 caliber barrel insert or the conversion slide, I should say, now you have a printed mag option. And that's going to be releasing just in the next few days. The beta's wrapped up, everything. We're just about to drop it. And that's a really cool design.
So that's just a Glock 22 mag that works for the conversion kit, then?
Yes, exactly. It's nice and simple. It was a very fast beta. A lot of people have like 10 or 15 of them that they've printed out, though, and they just, drop a whole big box of ammo into them and go to the range and shoot all day now because you're not paying $30 or $20 for a magazine.
Yeah, no, I was about to say that. I want to say those mags must be pretty niche, but yeah, that's really nice, actually. Yeah, those are kind of cool. They're kind of like a CMMG printed ones. Those are really nice.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and the nice thing is that once we have a nice, reliable Glock magazine, that feeds 22 caliber, that's going to open up a lot of other designs because now it's a printable magazine that's reliable and tested. So now 22 caliber semi-auto designs can use this mag where the mag geometry's already been figured out, the mag well geometry's already been figured out. So it's going to help developers down the line have a reliable option for their 22 caliber carbines.
It's a 22 magazine. It's yeah, you already have a good idea how they're going to be anyway. So it's good at least though. You don't have to spend the extra money for something that's pretty simple.
Yes, exactly.
But
now, an interesting thing, and this actually is in beta, but it's not with us. But I promised the person that I would mention it, and that is the deep penetration saboted copper 9mm round. Did you see that floating around Twitter? That's on Aussie.
I've been taking my fun Twitter suspension break nice and seriously, so I do not. But that is okay. So let me get this right then. I don't have a picture of it, so I'm just going to go off of what you say, but everyone else will see it. So you said it's a copper, so it's like a Sabo round?
Yes, exactly. And it's, I believe, 60 grains. It's either 40 or 60 grains. Like I said, it's not my project. The guy was just talking to me about it. And it uses a printed Sabo around the outside of it, and it goes through soft armor. And since it's all copper, it's a safe route. It's legal to make. Says here that, 550 foot-pounds is what he's saying the estimated power is. I'm looking at some of the gel. It punched right through a level 3A vest. It's just something neat that if people want to check out, like it's not one of my projects, but it's something that.
So yeah, that's actually kind of interesting. Yeah, that's really interesting. So wait, so how much of it's 3D printed or
the Sabo itself? So you're going to take a 9mm cartridge. You're going to use this small copper round, which I'm not sure if the copper rounds are made yourself or if it's using like an existing bullet. My idea is that I think it's using an all copper round that like is available for reloading, and then they just load it inside of this sleeve and then load the whole thing into a 9mm casing.
That's really interesting. Yeah, no, I mean, what is the only other one I could think of? Is it is it the Atlas Arms dagger?
Yeah, it's in the same vein as that. I know.
Yeah, so I know that one's been in development for a while, so this is kind of interesting that there's another one out there, I guess. That's
yeah, and we'll see how it turns out. Like I said, I reached out to the guy because I didn't realize he was with Aussie, and I wanted him, but he was taken. But I feel like it's a neat enough project that it was worth a mention.
Okay, yeah,
because
no.
I had a long talk with him.
And I will always bring this up there too. Right now, I guess this is mostly the Gatalog. If anything, if there's someone from Aussie, if there's someone from BLC, whatever, and they want to talk about all the betas that they have going on too, I'd be more than willing to do that as well. It's just, Dr. Death has been someone I can always talk to, so it's pretty easy just to get him on a call. So if someone wants to do it, just message me somewhere. I'll leave all the social media accounts in the description. But yeah, that's really cool. I'm interested in hearing how this one goes too. I guess let's go to the next one then. What do we got next?
Okay, now we've got from everyone's favorite Kevin Nguyen. We've got the PS522, and this is a printable SIG 522 receiver. So that's the 22 caliber SIG version of the the SIG 556 or the SIG 556 caliber rifle. It's really neat. It is a printable 22 caliber receiver. You can dress this thing up. You can have a really rare rifle for a heck of a lot less than it would cost to buy one used.
Okay. So
there's not a super ton to talk about it. It's been very heavily tested, and it uses those CMMG magazines. It's on the Gatalog.
Okay.
If you want to actually look at it right now, it's under printable frames and receivers.
So these again. So this has been released then, right?
Yeah. This is all released. So if you want to pull up the printable frames and receivers, everything that we talk about from here on out is going to be on that.
That's fantastic. The nice little SIG
It's
clone,
got the
really.
SIG look. Yep,
Yeah.
exactly. It's a SIG clone. It's neat. It's unique. It'll grab attention. It's not just like one of the, you know, however many people made the AR-15 and just 22 caliber. Like this is cool. It's going to be different, and it'll be a heck of a lot of fun to blast with.
Oh yeah, if you want to show everyone that you have money without actually having money, it's a good way of doing it. Trick people into thinking you can actually afford a nice SIG. Let's go to the next one.
Okay, this is another SIG. We've got the MERP, and that is a 3D printable SIG MPX receiver. And so if you want the MPX, the cool little 9mm carbine, here you go. You can 3D print one, you can get the upper, and you can put a collapsible brace on it, and you've got an awesome little compact PCC.
Okay, it's the SIG MPX. So it's the lower, right? Not the upper.
Yes, it's the lower. The MPX. So might be a little tricky to get, but you'll look cool, and Uncle Sam doesn't know about it. You know, it's a gas operated 9mm. That's going to be fun. It'll be soft shooting. You know, it's a new project. You know, for the man who has it all. Here you go. Here's something you don't have.
I guess yeah. No, it's a fun little 3D printed receiver. Yeah. I guess that's really. I don't really have anything else to add to it. I just to me it's like one of those fun unobtainium things where just like yeah, no, it's really cool. I'd probably never get one myself, but
Exactly.
hey, if I did have it, that would be fun to do something with.
Absolutely. Now, speaking of unobtainable, let's flip that the other way to something that's incredibly obtainable, and that's the PRM9 3D printable AR9 bufferless lower receiver. So this is an AR9.
Okay.
Yes, exactly. So it's the bufferless AR9. So it's got a Picatinny rail on the back for a brace or whatever you want to put on there. You know, sling if you want to do that. It takes Glock mags. It's an AR9 lower receiver, and it just works. You know, it just works.
That's actually
It's straightforward.
I like it how we just were talking about the MPX or the MPX, and yeah, now we're going to the bufferless AR9 uppers, which I'm assuming. I'm trying to think of companies that do it. All I can right now think of is BCA.
Yeah, not a ton, not a ton of them do it.
I mean,
but now you can do it at home.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So wait, can you turn any upper into a bufferless one, or is it just
Here, as long as it has a self-contained recoil mechanism, then it should be fine.
I know BCA has their bufferless AR9, which looks interesting. It's just for me, I've had interesting experiences with my BCA uppers to the point where, hey, my Firebolt has outlived 3 BCA uppers. That's nice. Basically, if you have a bufferless AR9, it will work. If you don't have a bufferless AR9, yeah, it's not gonna probably work. Guess let's go on to the next one.
That was actually it.
Oh, okay.
This month was a little bit shorter, but you know what? We've got a lot of things that are coming out, but they're either currently in beta, you know, but it's an older beta that we've already covered, or they released. Because we had, like I said, 4 releases this month. It is the shortest month of the year, you know.
Right.
And we have a lot of things that are just still being worked on, and a lot of things that are maybe a little bit secret, and we can't talk about right now because I'm sneaky.
They're too secret. Yeah.
They're too secret. That's right. You
Yeah.
know, but we have a lot of cool stuff coming out, and there's, you know, it's never ending.
No, yeah.
We're always pushing ahead.
I guess yeah, this is also a good time and also probably to mention as well. Yeah, some of these months will just be shorter. That's just something that's just going to happen. You know, of course, anyone could always. If you have a cool design you want to do, you want to pad those numbers up, you can go join the beta process yourself. How would you do that again, Dr. Death?
Okay, to join the beta process, just reach out to me either on Twitter or on the Deterrence Dispensed Rocket chat. It's very easy to get into. All you have to do is go to the Gatalog. There's a link right there that says join the team. Follow the directions and just DM me. I'm always available. If I don't get back to you right away, I'll get back to you within a few hours usually. Ping me if you need to, and then we'll talk about what your design is. to start a beta, you need to have built the gun and you need to have fired one round at least successfully without it blowing up. We need to make sure that it's safe, and preferably you were able to run through a full magazine and not have any known safety issues. We'll discuss it. But that's it. Very straightforward, and I look forward to every single person who comes to me with a design.
All right, I think that's good enough for now. I think let's go. Might as well end it right here. Look forward to seeing you guys next month.
Thank you very much for having me.